break is over and the biggest, most anticipated race of the year is finally here. Welcome to the 62nd annual Great American Race, the Daytona 500. We're happy to have you along with us here as we get set to go racing this afternoon in the biggest race of the year, the race that everybody wants to win. That is the Daytona 500. 42 cars are lined up on pit road getting ready to go racing here for 500 miles this afternoon. I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth, happy to have you along with us on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Clear skies, no chance of rain, and 42 hungry drivers and teams awaiting the green flag in the 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season. Ever since we showed up to Daytona almost 2 weeks ago, all eyes have been on Joey Logano, the defending Cup Series champion. He'll have a long way to go to get to the front as he'll start 34th this afternoon. After scoring a bunch of success in the lower series, including a championship in the Gander Outdoor Truck Series, GMS Racing will finally make their Cup Series debut as an organization. AJ Allmendinger, who was released from his ride at JTG Daugherty Racing, will pilot the team's number 23 ISM Connect Chevrolet in their debut. He'll start from the outside of row number 13. Austin Dillon claimed his second career Cup Series victory in the 2018 Daytona 500 from a last lap pass that set him up to make the playoffs for the third consecutive year. Can he repeat history this afternoon? He'll start 21st in his Dow's Chevrolet. Martin Truex Jr. is coming off a disappointing second place finish in the championship in 2018, but immediately picked up some momentum with his new team at Joe Gibbs Racing, scoring the victory in his Gander RV dual race on Thursday night. He'll start 4th in his Bass Pro Shops Toyota. Kevin Harvick has been the fastest man in Daytona as he'll start from the pole after scoring the fastest lap in Daytona 500 pole qualifying last Sunday. Harvick won this race 12 years ago with Richard Childress Racing. Ryan Blaney also entering this race with some momentum after he won the class here last Sunday as well. As we look at the last 2 nights of racing from Daytona, it was David Gilliland who picked up his first career Truck Series win, driving for Kyle Busch Motorsports, while Brandon Jones scored the victory in yesterday's Xfinity race with Joe Gibbs Racing. Will the trend continue and we see a first-time winner today, or maybe a first-time Daytona 500 winner? We'll find out here very soon. A win today in the Daytona 500 equals a playoff berth for 2019. The 2019 Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series season begins right now here from Daytona. Let's sit down trackside for the opening ceremonies.
Heavenly Father, we thank you tonight for all your blessings. You said in all things give thanks.
Drivers, start your engines!
Okay, as the cars are now rolling onto the track, getting ready for their pace lap. Down below you'll see your starting grid. Scroll across your screen, allowing you to see where your favorite drivers are going to start here this afternoon. We're also going to take a look at the upcoming schedule for the 2019 season. It's a whole new revamped schedule that's been set for 2019. We leave here and immediately begin our West Coast swing. Next weekend we'll be heading to the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and then we'll go to Auto Club, and we'll finish it all up at the ISM Raceway in 3 weeks in Phoenix, Arizona. The stage format, 10 laps here in stage number 1, 10 laps in stage number 2, and the final stage will consist of 20 laps, giving us a grand total of 40 laps altogether here in the Daytona 500. It's been an action-packed weekend of racing here at the World Center of Racing. Kevin Harvick and William Byron set the fastest laps in qualifying and earned the front row for the Daytona 500. Clint Boyer and Martin Truex Jr. on row number 2. Brad Keselowski and teammate Ryan Blaney on row 3. And then Jimmy Johnson, Chris Buescher, Chase Elliott, and Kurt Busch rounds out your top 10 here from Daytona as the green flag is about to wave and the 2019 season for the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series is underway here from Daytona. 48 cars showed up. 42 made the show. 42 takes the green flag. flag as William Byron got a pretty good jump there on the outside lane, getting a nice push from the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. And they stayed door to door and pretty even down the back straightaway, and I believe Byron may have the advantage going into turn 3. And it did not take them long at all to be 3 wide. That was the 48 of Jimmy Johnson, putting the 2-car Keselowski 3 wide. As they come off turn number 4, William Byron, the 2017 Xfinity Series champion, making his second Daytona 500 appearance, leads the first lap here in 2019. Ever since we came to Daytona, we've seen some racing that we haven't really seen a lot at Daytona. The outside line being pretty much the dominant lane, and the inside line's been very difficult to really make any success on that inside. What we've seen all week long, the outside line, great coming off the corners, but in the corners, the inside line will get the momentum because it's a shorter way around. But as you see right here, the outside gets the momentum, gets the power, and it gives William Byron the lead in front of Kevin Harvick and Martin Truex Jr. And now you see Byron finally able to clear the inside line of Kevin Harvick. Now that will lead Martin Truex Jr. as the first guy up on the outside, making his official debut for Joe Gibbs Racing. He won the RB dual race on Thursday night. Certainly gave that Bass Pro Shops team some momentum coming into this Daytona 500. Now you see Kevin Harvick back on the inside of William Byron. Harvick does have his teammate Clint Boyer on his bumper pushing him. Byron's led the first couple of laps already, but Harvick has yet to lead a lap. Can it come this time by? No. Give it again to the 24 of William Byron. See the 3 wide back here, out just almost outside the top 10. That's 18 of Kyle Busch, who put his teammate Eric Jones in the middle, and his older brother Kurt Busch on the outside now falling back. That third lane hasn't really been that strong, at all this entire week, and we're seeing it again in the early laps here in the Daytona 500. Paul Menard now makes an aggressive move to the inside of Kyle Busch in the 18, bringing that 42 of Kyle Larson along with him. And behind Kyle Larson, if you're looking for a driver to pull for, that number 40 may not be a bad choice. Jamie McMurray in his final Daytona 500, driving for a new Spire Motorsports team with an alliance with Chip Ganassi Racing. A one-off race for McMurray in this 40 car. See the sponsor from Coors Light. Coors Light has not been a sponsor in this series since, I believe, 2007. And they are returning for this one race, sponsor that pretty much launched McMurray's Cup Series career. Coming back for one more race. And right now, McMurray running very well here inside the top 15. Beside him, how about Michael McDowell in that 34 car up here inside the top 20 as well. This is what we all love about Daytona and Talladega, the draft, the big equalizer, which allows a guy like the 34 Michael McDowell to have a shot to get up here and race. Not only race for a top 10, but even race for a win. That's what this track and that's what this draft allows for these drivers. Now remember, this is only stage 1. This is a 40-lap race, but the first 2 stages are divided up by 10 laps each. So we only have 5 more laps here in stage number 1, and at the conclusion of this stage, points will be awarded to the top 10 finishers. Right now, William Byron looking not only for 10 championship points, but 1 playoff point. That would certainly help the 24 team should he make the playoffs here in 2019. If you finish 10th here in stage number 1, you will receive 1 point. If you finish 9th, you'll be receiving 2 points. If you win, like we said, you'll get 10 points towards your championship point standings. That will also go towards the points that these drivers gain from their respective RB duel from Thursday night. Another guy we haven't really talked about yet, that 31, that is Daniel Hemrick, one of our Rookie of the Year contenders from Kannapolis, North Carolina. Daniel Hemrick taking over the driving duties of the 31, replacing Ryan Newman. Smoky Mountain Herbal Snuff coming up on board as a primary sponsor for this race. Hemrick having a nice run early on, running up here inside the top, just outside the top 10 for Daniel Hemrick. Also back here we had a 13, Ty Dillon, Bubba Wallace, and that 43 finished runner-up here 1 year ago. And he was runner-up to the guy right behind him, Austin Dillon, looking to go back-to-back here in the Great American Race. Matty Benedetto making his first appearance in the Levine Family Racing 95 with the 41 of Daniel Suarez with a new ride here at Stewart Haas Racing. Ryan Newman also a new gig over here at Rouse Fenway Racing, and we are 3 wide up here inside the top 5. Look at Clint Boyer getting aggressive on his teammate Kevin Harvick. He wants those playoff points, and he's going to go to the inside of Harvick. That may not necessarily hurt Harvick, but that's going to kill the 19 of Martin Truex as he is shoved in that 3rd lane right up at the top of the track. And you see Truex has no help from behind. Daniel Hemrick not close enough to really do anything with the 19. And that move right there by Clint Boyer may allow the 19 of Truex to not gain any stage points here in this opening stage. As Clint Boyer, that move propelled him to the inside of William Byron. So can Clint Boyer grab the lead away from the sophomore sensation William Byron, who's led all 8 laps so far? Look at Kyle Larson in that 42 car now moving up inside the top 5. That 42 car has been pretty fast ever since they unloaded here. Paul Menard, that 21, the 18 of Kyle Busch pushing him. There's Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski at the top of the track in the 9 and 2 car. As a white flag is out here in stage number 1, all 42 cars are still on track. Timmy Hill in the 00, the last car on track in 42nd place. William Byron has cleared the inside line yet again, looking for his first career stage win as Larson makes it 3 wide again on the 48. Larson not done yet, puts Johnson in the middle. Harvick goes up top. Paul Menard to help in the 21 as they come off turn number 4. 3 wide throughout almost the entire field, but it is William Byron who comes down to the line to the green and white checker flag. William Byron wins stage number 1 with Clint Boyer second, and a great run by Kyle Larson here in stage number 1 to get 3rd. Jimmy Johnson 4th, and Kevin Harvick rounds out your top 5 here in stage number 1. 40-lap race, 10 laps are now in the books, but 30 more to go as we get set to go to stage 2 when we come back to Daytona. About to go back to green here from Daytona to get stage number 2 underway. William Byron and Clint Boyer at your front row here on this restart with Kyle Larson and the 48 Jimmy Johnson making up row number 2. Kevin Harvick and Kyle Busch row 3. Jamie McMurray and Paul Menard row 4, and Martin Truex Jr. alongside Ty Dillon, who done a nice job to get stage points, will round out the top 10 on row 5. All 42 cars still in the race, all with a shot to go to victory lane here in the Great American Race, the Daytona 500. Rounding out the field on the final row, the 7 of Reed Sorensen and the 00 of Timmy Hill. Right up ahead of them, the 72 Scott Legacy Jr. making his Cup Series debut for TriStar Motorsports, currently running in the 40th position here on this restart. As William Byron brings us back down to the green flag to get stage number 2 underway from Daytona. And Byron, as you noticed, chose the inside lane for this restart. That gives Clint Boyer the outside lane, the same lane that gave Byron the lead on lap number 1. So what will we see here in stage number 2? Boyer got a pretty good restart on, able to hang on the corner panel of the 24 of Byron, and this Byron's teammate Johnson giving the show to the 14 to get alongside the 24. Kevin Harvick now makes it 3 wide, goes to the inside of the 42 of Larson. Harvick on the inside, Larson in the middle. That puts Johnson up top with Kyle Busch in the 18. But they're side by side coming off turn number 4. Clint Boyer on the outside, William Byron on the inside, And for the first time today, the 24 will not lead a lap, give the lead to the 14 of Clint Boyer. Clint Boyer's 14th Daytona 500. Third, driving for Stuart Haas Racing. Behind him, the 42 of Kyle Larson, who's done a nice job making his way up through the field. On the bumper of the number 14. And how about Truex coming back to the inside of that 19 car? We saw him fall back in the late stages of stage number 1. And here comes the 19 back on the inside, trying to get third away from the 4, Kevin Harvick. And now Larson is showed to that very mediocre outside lane in the 42. You can tell the tension is rising, and drivers' patience are getting a little bit thinner and thinner as we got some contact back here. Bubba Wallace and Eric Jones, they're still making contact here off turn 2, and they're going to go up in the outside wall. Alex Bowman's around, Menard's around. Eric Jones is spinning around in the grass, and the caution will wave for the first time this afternoon. Landon Castle, the 92, Ryan Truex in the 96 involved Daniel Suarez in the 41. The caution is out. They are racing back to the line. This is not to the end. This is not the end of stage 2. This will, as we're only about 3 or 4 laps in, but Clint Boyer is the leader at the line over William Byron and the number 9 of Chase Elliott. Martin Truex and Kevin Harvick are top 5, but tough break for the 41 of Daniel Suarez from Monterrey, Mexico, the 2016 Xfinity champion. Paul Menard, the 21. Eric Jones, who won the last time we were at Daytona in July of last year. Landon Castle in a one-off race with Ricky Benton Racing. There's Truex. A little bit of damage on the 62 of Brendan Gaughan as well. So there's Bubba Wallace. We saw him get involved. This all happened coming off turn number 2. They nearly saved it, but not able to save it enough. There's the damage on the left side of Alex Bowman's Nationwide Insurance Chevrolet. Heavy front-end damage on the 1 of Kurt Busch, the winner of this race 2 years ago. The caution flag is out for the first time this afternoon for a crash-related incident. Let's take a look at the replay of how it all happened. Alright, so we're going to rewind all the way right before they get to turn number 1. At this point now, they are 3 wide at this point. But you're going to see the 43 of Bubba Wallace as from the helicopter view, end up forcing his way between the 20 of Eric Jones and the 88 of Alex Bowman. And he can go 4 wide at Talladega, but it's very difficult to do it at Daytona and make it work. And they almost made it work. Like, able to come off through, turn number 2, but Jones kind of forces Wallace up into Bowman. Bowman has Paul Menard on his outside. And there they go towards the outside wall. Menard nearly got away with it, but ended up getting clipped by the 20. There's Kurt Busch, nowhere to go. Suarez, Ryan Truex. A lot of the guys on the inside lane got affected, like Ryan Truex and Daniel Suarez and Landon Castle. This heavy front-end damage on the 92 and the 1 of Kurt Busch. They both made some pretty good, significant contact with another car. As we go back one more time to the replay, and it all started when Bubba Wallace, made it 4 wide. There's really no point of doing that. And then the 20 certainly didn't make it any easier for him as he kind of pushed Wallace up into Bowman. There's Daniel Hemrick, nowhere to go. Kurt Busch ends up running into Eric Jones. Allmendinger with a pretty good save there. There's Suarez through the grass, Menard, Truex, and there's a contact from Castle to Menard. That was all going on behind this pretty good intense battle for the lead between Clint Boyer and William Byron, but in the end it was Clint Boyer who grabbed the lead at the line, and he will be a leader when we go back green here from Daytona. Welcome back to Daytona. We are getting set for the second restart of the day after the first caution. That's not a stage caution. came out when he crashed off turn number 2, collected about 10 to 11 drivers. We'll show the drivers who were involved: Kurt Busch, Eric Jones, Daniel Hemrick, Alex Bowman, and more. About 10 drivers involved, but the good news is all 10 drivers are still on track, giving us a total of 42 cars still running here in the Daytona 500. Nobody went behind the wall after this caution flag. Clint Bowyer and William Byron in your front row. We have about 3 more laps to go here in this stage after that crash took about a couple of caution laps. So we only have 3 laps to go here in stage number 2. Clint Bowyer with a really good jump on the inside lane. Kind of surprised he chose the inside lane, because on the initial start and on the start of stage number 2, the outside pole center got away with getting the lead, but right there he's on the 19 of Truex go top to bottom of turn number 1 behind the 14 of Clint Bowyer. That's certainly going to help the 14's run at keeping the lead here down the backstretch away from the 24 William Byron. And now Truex makes the charge to the inside of the 14. He'll have help from the 9 of Chase Elliott. Chase Elliott in the 9, Kevin Harvick in the 4, Jamie McMurray in the 40. There's Austin Dillon, Jimmy Johnson, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 17. 3 wide back here, there's Denny Hamlin, Joey Logano, David Reagan the 38, Bubba Wallace 43. Two laps to go here in stage number 2. Remember, top 10 gets points. The winner of the stage, playoff point for their hopes of winning a championship here in 2019. Clint Bowyer on the outside, Martin Truex on the inside. And it's just so hard for this inside lane to make a pass or make anything happen on that inside lane, because you would think the inside, with it being the shorter way around, and that means the place you want to be, right near that yellow line, but that's just not been the way it's been since they unloaded here a couple of weeks ago. As they come down to the white flag here with Clint Bowyer in front of the field, Martin Truex in second, the 2 former teammates from Michael Waltrip Racing now battling for a stage win in Daytona. Truex on the inside, Clint Bowyer on the outside with help from William Byron. They're side by side yet again. Now the 9 of Elliott makes that. Here's Adeline to make a 3 wide in the 9 car. Side by side for the lead. Truex and Byron now for second place. They make contact. Off the track they go. Byron comes up. He takes out the 14. Clint Bowyer in the wall. Ty Dillon nowhere to go. And the big one strikes here on stage number 2. The final lap. Nowhere to go for many of these cars. Denny Hamlin tumbling down the track in turn number 3. And it's the 19 of Martin Truex Jr. who snuck away from the chaos that ensued behind him to win stage number 2. But Clint Bowyer, from leading the race to possibly most likely winning the stage, and getting taken out of the lead in a vicious way from a battle for second place. And look at the contact, look at the damage on that 14. Clint Bowyer's day is over here at Daytona. Look at the car. Look at that. That car is destroyed as it sits on pit road. Denny Hamlin, the FedEx number 11. William Byron, the 2 drivers who dominated stage 1. William Byron and Clint Bowyer, 2 of the fastest cars here, taken out here in this crash. William Byron went behind the wall, as you just saw, so his day is over. Kurt Busch, Eric Jones. I saw a lot of cars that were involved in the first caution, the first crash, also caught up in this crash. Eric Jones, Landon Castle, Kurt Busch. I believe Ryan Truex was involved as well. Just a very chaotic last lap here in stage number 2. There's Alex Bowman, another victim in both the first and second caution. Okay, so we're going to be showing the replay, and when you watch this, you're going to realize that Clint Bowyer is not a very lucky man, as he is in the lead. Everything is good. He's cleared everybody from behind. And watch what happens between the 19 and the 24. These two drivers side drafting. It's like they got hooked together, could not get off one another, and they had so much speed. And when they were coming back up on the track, Byron collects the 14, while Truex is able to save it. And look at the carnage from behind. Eric Almirola also involved. Ty Dillon, who had a great run to stage number 1. William Byron, Matty Benedetto, Corey LaJoie, Matt Tiff, Timmy Hill, Ryan Truex, Suarez, Menard, Chastain. Just a complete and utter mess here in turn number 3. And there's nothing Clint Boyer could have done to avoid it. I mean, he was sitting pretty to, looking like he was going to win the stage. And I don't even know what happened between the 24 and the 19. It's like they were side drafting, and all of a sudden they got hooked together. And like I said, they had too much speed. Byron got the worst of it between himself and Truex. But it was Martin Truex who held off Chase Elliott and Brad Keselowski to win stage number 2. Alright, so Clint Boyer may not be the luckiest man alive, but David Reagan just might be. As we look at this line, David Reagan running outside the top 25, and look how he gets through. This right here is on turn number 3. It was high, and look how he makes it through. Never even hit the 11, never even got hit with the 92 Castle. I mean, look at that awesome avoidance by David Reagan to get through this crash. We go from from a different angle. Let's try the helicopter view if I can get to it. Here it is. See, he's driving right behind Matty Benedetto in the 95, and there's he crashed up ahead. He enters high. He's able to cut low behind Denny Hamlin. He never even hit C11. Maybe got hit maybe I got a kiss from Scott Legacy, and look at Castle and Kurt Busch pile in, and Reagan able to get unscathed through that mess. Keeps his car in one piece, and David Reagan picks up some free spots here as a lot of cars going behind the wall after this melee of a crash in turn number 3. Okay, getting set now for the final stage of the race. Stage number 3, the final 20 laps here in the 62nd annual Daytona 500. Your race leader is Martin Truex Jr. alongside the 9 of Chase Elliott here on this restart. A lot of cars went behind the wall after that crash. Ty Dillon, Matt Tiff, William Byron, Clint Boyer, Denny Hamlin, Matty Benedetto, Eric Jones, Ryan Truex, Landon Castle, and Kurt Busch have all retired from the race, leaving us a total of, I believe, 32 cars left to go here in the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick, I believe, if I'm correct, I believe it was Kevin Harvick who gained the most stage points in the first 2 stages of the day. It will be lined up 4th, second car on the outside as they come back here to the green flag. 32 cars, 20 laps to go here in the Daytona 500. You have to be wondering if these drivers, after they saw what happened in turn number 3, will these drivers be a little bit more patient going forward, or with it being the final stage, only 20 laps to go, is that going to drive their eager to get to the front even more higher and have them make even more bold and aggressive moves to get to the front? We'll find out as you see, heading down the back straightaway. That is the 2 of Brad Keselowski. Haven't really talked a whole lot about Keselowski this afternoon, but he has found his way to the front on that inside lane, on the inside of Martin Truex, but doesn't really have a lot of help on the inside. The inside's not really that organized, but neither really is the outside lane, so that may pay dividends for the inside of Keselowski. You have Keselowski and McMurray. How about Ryan Newman now getting up here inside the top 10? The Oscar Mayer Ford Mustang of Ryan Newman, along with the 22 of Joey Logano, who started all the way back in 3rd place. Somehow got through the melee in stage number 2 or both wrecks in stage number 2. And contact again! Elliott and Keselowski contact for 2nd place, but somehow they kept it together. and we stay green as Newman makes it 4 wide here going into turn 3. We already seen 4 wide so far this evening, and it did not turn out well for anybody involved. But this time they all back out smartly, and it's Ryan Newman taking advantage of that 4 wide battle and move up here inside the top 5. So it's Truex, Elliott, Keselowski, Newman, and McMurray, your top 5 here at Daytona. We have Ryan Blaney here on the inside. How about Cole Custer in the middle in that 51? Cole Custer making his 500 debut. So is Ryan Preece in the 47, who you see there on the inside lane. There's Scott Lagacy Jr., the 72, Reed Sorensen. There's Al Mirola, David Reagan, Joey Gase, Paul Menard, Suarez, Chastain, Timmy Hill, LaJoy, and Bowman. The driver's still on track here in the final 17 laps at Daytona. And look at Chase Elliott going for the lead. And this might work out for Elliott's benefit, as he has Logano on his bumper, but Newman not really close enough to Truex to give him a push here off turn number 2. This is probably the best shot Elliott has at getting that lead from the inside lane. That's if Logano stays with him in the 22. But Logano's not really a guy you want to depend on to help you out. But Logano stays up pushing him though through turns 3. And Newman's still unable to get to the bumper of the 19 of Truex, as Ryan Blaney now coming 3 wide in the middle. In the middle of a 3 wide battle with Chris Buescher having a strong run in that 37 car, and AJ Allmendinger. 16 laps to go as they remain side by side for the lead. Elliott, he's getting a nice push from Logano, but Truex, that car is so strong. He doesn't. Oh, there goes Newman in the wall. Ryan Newman in the wall off turn 2, but they save it. They somehow save it. But Ryan, and there they go, Elliott. Chase Elliott and Truex are wrecking. In turn number 3, the leaders again get taken out as Kyle Larson tumbles down the apron in turn number 3, an exact replica of what we saw in stage number 2. Clint Bowyer, William Byron, 2 of our leaders get wrecked in stage 2, and now our leaders from stage 3, Martin Truex and Chase Elliott, get taken out. Daniel Hemrick, heavy damage on the Smoky Mountain Chevrolet. Ryan Newman, heavy damage on the left side of his car. What in the world happened to Martin Truex and Chase Elliott? There's Michael McDowell, his day is over. Cole Custer involved Bowman, Chastain, LaJoy, Suarez, Almirola. Not a good day for Stewart Haas Racing at all. Reed Sorensen, Kyle Larson, Ryan Blaney. And there's the 2 leaders involved in this wreck, Martin Truex and Chase Elliott. Truex the winner from stage number 2. What in the world has happened here to these 2 drivers? Good news is, for Joey Logano, he got through it. Joey Logano is going to be the leader over Chris Buescher, Ryan Preece, Bubba Wallace, and Kevin Harvick. Alright, as we jump back to the replay, the first scare comes off turn number 2 involving the 6 of Ryan Newman. You see, he's the second car there on the outside lane, getting pushed by Ryan Blaney. And you're going to see Blaney kind of make a mistake getting into the left rear corner panel of the 6. And when these cars are drafted, you do not want to get into the left rear corner panel of another car, because it never works out. And somehow it did for about 5 seconds. Ryan Newman got through it. Ryan Blaney all got through it. Everybody got through it. But their luck ran out here as something happened, and I believe it may be the exact same thing that led to the crash in stage 2. Truex and Elliott. There it is, that contact, that side draft, that aggressive side draft. Elliott turns Truex around up the track in front of Daniel Hemrick, Ryan Blaney, Kyle Larson. There's Newman, Custer. They all pile in and Suarez just lifts many of these cars off the ground, unable to slow it down. And you see his teammate Almirola tumbling over. Second consecutive year, Eric Almirola will end his Daytona 500 in the garage. Suarez, I believe he's crashed out in all three of his 500s with this incident. And look at Suarez. I mean, he sees the wreck, but he doesn't slow it down, or doesn't slow it down all the way, and just piles into Reed Sorensen. Almirola and McDowell collected. There's Ross Chastain in the 15. Daniel Hemrick involved. Paul Menard, I believe, got some right side damage in that crash. I mean, just unbelievable what we've seen today surrounding the leaders at the front of the field. Just, I don't know if it's just aggressive side drafting or something, just hooking these cars together and making them just not being able to get off each other. It's something we've never really seen before, and here's a look at it again. And Logano is very fortunate that he got through, because when the 19 spun up the track, you saw the 19 clip the 22 just a little bit. Not sure if that's enough to maybe cut down a tire on the 22 of Joey Logano, but he will be a leader most likely when we go back green here to Daytona. But another one of the fastest cars of all speed weeks, Martin Truex Jr. sees his Daytona 500 cut short with 15 laps to go. Back live here at Daytona, getting set for what could be the final restart of the afternoon. Remember, next weekend, the Monster Energy NASCAR Cup Series will be live from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway as it begins the West Coast Swing for 2019. Would Joey Logano be entering that race as the 2019 Daytona 500 champion? We're going to find out as we have 11 laps to go from Daytona. Now, it's no surprise to see Joey Logano up front, but how about the three guys behind him? The 37 of Chris Buescher, his teammate and rookie contender Ryan Preece, and Bubba Wallace. How about Darrell Wallace Jr. in that 43, runner-up in this race 1 year ago? And here he is yet again with a shot at the victory. Kevin Harvick, Jimmy Johnson, Austin Dillon, Kyle Busch, Brendan Gaughan, and Jamie McMurray. Making up your top 10 with Keselowski and Legacy on road number 6. The green flag waves yet again with 19 cars remaining on track. A lot of cars got taken out. Almost half the field got taken out. Bowman, LaJoie, Chastain, Suarez, Almirola, Truex, Elliott, Blaney, Larson, Sorensen, McDowell, Custer, and Hemrick. All done for the afternoon here at Daytona, as we are green yet again. And Joey Logano trying to hang on to win the second Great American Race, the second Harley J. Earl Trophy. But he's going to have some hungry hounds coming from behind. One of them, the 4, Kevin Harvick. Started on pole in this race, hasn't lit a lap yet. But here he is, the closer, coming up towards the lead here in the closing laps here in the 500. So is Austin Dillon. Can he go back-to-back wins in the Daytona 500? The down number 3 Chevrolet. Second car in the inside lane, pushing Kevin Harvick potentially to the lead. On the inside, Kevin Harvick. On the outside, Joey Logano, but he has no help from behind from the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Can Harvick grab the lead on the backstretch? He is so close to clearing the 22 as here comes the 40. McMurray now making the charge from leading the 40 car with help from Brad Keselowski. And for the first time today, has contact from Brendan Gaughan and Chris Buescher. Gaughan saves it. What could have been another crash here inside the top 10 gets sorted out, but Brendan Gaughan, the big loser in that mess. But he still may be okay with the draft. But Kevin Harvick, the first driver all day long to grab the lead from the inside lane. And is Harvick now leading the charge with Austin Dillon and Jamie McMurray battling for second place. Now Keselowski makes it 3 wide with help from Chris Buescher in that 37 car. Keselowski's alongside the 47, gets his nose on the inside of the corner panel. The 40 McMurray going for the lead, possibly in the next couple of laps, is Mr. Tua Keselowski. He's never won the Daytona 500. Kevin Harvick won this race 12 years ago. And Chris Buescher being very impressive here in that 37, and so is his teammate Ryan Preece. This is the first time Preece has ever raced in the Daytona 500. And here he is sticking his nose to the inside with a battle inside the top 5 with about 7 laps to go. And look at Keselowski going for the lead as they right behind him. Johnson in the outside wall. Now caution's out yet again. And 43, Bubba Wallace. The 3 of Austin Dillon. And the 48, Jimmy Johnson collected here in this crash. Yet again off turn number 2. Yeah, I think turn 2 has been calamity corner for most of the afternoon. Most of the carnage has pretty much started in turn 2. Some of it has finished towards turn 3, but yet again it takes out more cars, including the 48, the 43, and the 3, who are all having strong runs here. That was a good break for Kevin Harvick. He grabbed the lead, able to hold off the 2 of Keselowski. Ryan Preece, Chris Buescher, and McMurray now your top 5. Let's take a look at the replay of what brought out the 3rd incident of the day. Yet again, this is another example of a 4-wide situation gone bad. They're coming off turn number 2. AJ Allmendinger, Jimmy Johnson got hooked. And there's Bubba Wallace. Austin Dillon saw Kyle Busch get a piece of it in the 18. Joey Gase. There's Stenhouse in the 17 sneaking through. Not really a huge crash compared to what we've seen so far this evening, but still certainly going to pretty much kill any chance Johnson, Dillon, or Wallace will have a shot at the victory. Another look at it. See, the 48 kind of hooks the 23 up into the 43, and there's the 18 nowhere to go. Austin Dillon nowhere to go, and Logano another incredible move to get through another crash. I don't see any of these guys going behind the wall because none of them got severe damage to, go behind the wall and be done for the day, but really a lot of cosmetic damage, especially for the 3 of Austin Dillon on the left side. It's pretty much will take them out of contention, though, to win this race. We're back live here at Daytona, and the lights, as you see, are out. Top of the pace car, meaning that we will be going green this time by. And the question we've asked already a couple of times, will this be the final restart of the day? Kevin Harvick and Brad Keselowski are front row, and surprisingly yet again, Kevin Harvick has chosen the inside lane for this restart, giving Brad Keselowski the outside lane, and it's the 2 JTG Chevrolets of Ryan Preece and Chris Buescher doing the pushing here with 4 laps to go at Daytona. As you see towards the end of the rear of the field, all the 48, the 3, and the 43 all got through I wouldn't say they got through it, but they are still on track, trying to salvage what they can here in the closing laps here of this race. Harvick and Keselowski still side by side for the lead. Ryan Preece not necessarily able to get the bump with the 4 Kevin Harvick, but neither is Chris Buescher. And now McMurray moves low to pick up Ryan Preece. That could help the 4 Kevin Harvick keep the lead away from Brad Keselowski. They come off turn number 4. 3 laps to go in the Daytona 500. And at the stripe, give the lead to Keselowski. Keselowski leads that lap. Now Ryan Preece moves up. Here comes McMurray making it 3 wide. That's not really what Kevin Harvick wants to see. He needs these guys to be lined up behind him on that inside lane. Give Harvick a push off turn 2. Like Keselowski has Ryan Preece on the outside coming up towards him to push. Preece not really able to push, but he's able to give him some sort of a draft to allow the 2 car to clear Kevin Harvick. Brad Keselowski leading Kevin Harvick and now Ryan Preece. Can the Blue Oval, the Ford Mustangs, win the first attempt in the Cup Series? Ford Mustang has been around in the Xfinity Series for the past several years. Finally made their jump to the Cup Series to replace the old Ford Fusion. And now Mustangs are first and second with another one back in fourth place of Joey Logano. Keselowski, Harvick, and Priest nose to tail. Allmendinger and Logano battle for fourth place as Kyle Busch now trying to get a run here inside the top 5. How about Joey Gase up here inside the top 10? So is David Reagan. We saw that great work from David Reagan to get through the wreck and stays number 2. And here he is with a shot at a top 10 finish. Ryan Preece and Logano now battling for third place. Logano almost has to 47 clear. The white flag is out, 1 lap to go. Sponsored by Credit One Bank. Brad Keselowski, Kevin Harvick, nose to tail. But how can Harvick make a pass on the 2 car? You have to think Harvick knows that Logano would rather help the 2 of Keselowski than the 4 of Kevin Harvick. He has one more shot down here in turn number 3. Will Harvick take advantage of it? Here's the move by Kevin Harvick to the inside of Keselowski. They are 3 wide behind him. Harvick has no help. Neither does Keselowski. It's going to be a drag race coming out turn number 4 down to the checker flag. Side by side to the line. Give it to who? At the stripe, it will be Keselowski winning the Daytona 500 over Kevin Harvick in second place. It is his 10th Daytona 500. He's been winless in his first 9 attempts, but this year, Brad Keselowski finally wins the Great American Race and will hoist the Harley J. Earl Trophy here this afternoon from Daytona. A close side-by-side finish between Keselowski and Harvick, about 3/1000ths of a second. Give it to the 3 of Keselowski at the line. How about Ryan Preece getting a career best 3rd place finish, Kyle Busch coming back to 4th place, and Joey Logano getting a top 5 in the 22. And then strong runs for the guys, Chris Buescher, Jamie McMurray. You know, the last race from McMurray, certainly a kind of a emotional race for that 40 car. But how about McMurray bringing it home in 7th place? It looks to be his final start in the Cup Series. He finished 7th. Great run by GMS Racing. AJ Allmendinger, 8th place, and career best finish for Joey Gase, 9th place in his number 35 Mustang. And David Reagan will round out your top 10 in the 38 car in 10th place. As we take a look at the rest of your results here from Daytona. Brad Keselowski, your winner. Kevin Harvick, well, we already went through the top 10. There's Gunn and Legacy running out the top dozen. Great runs by Brendan Gunn and Scott Legacy Jr. This was also Legacy's Cup Series debut. He's run a lot of races here at Daytona in Xfinity and trucks, but this was his first Cup attempt, and he comes home in 12th. And here's the second page of drivers. Jimmy Johnson, Bubba Wallace, and Stenhouse coming on with a top 15 finish. The top 19 cars all the way down to Ryan Newman in 19th place, all completed all 40 laps. But then Daniel Hemrick in 20th place, Cole Custer 21st, on down to 42nd place, Kurt Busch, all involved in some crash. One of the 2 main crashes here that we saw this evening. And a win today for Brad Keselowski places Brad into the playoffs for 2019. We already kind of expected Brad to be a driver to, get a win or at least point his way into the playoffs, but he doesn't even have to worry about that no more. The 2 car is in the playoffs here for 2019, and the Blue Wolf of the Ford Mustang, they win the Daytona 500 in their first attempt. They're actually 1st, 2nd, 5th, 9th, and 10th. It's a great run by the Mustangs here in the Great American Race. Thank you guys so much for joining us here for the coverage of the 62nd Annual Daytona 500. We're happy to have you along with us here this afternoon. I'm Eric Burton here in the broadcast booth. I'd like to give one more congrats to Brad Keselowski on the victory here